Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, February the 26th, 2024. The day was basically felt like an inside day, even though we continued to make progress to the downside. There's not a lot to be adding, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. I'm on the 15-minute chart, actually, because I was looking at the count here. But I'm going to go back up to that hourly and just take another quick look. And everything's still the same, all the way up to minute wave 4. And we're now just looking at what's happening inside here, and still in the context that we are within a finishing diagonal, an ending diagonal triangle for the entire minor fifth wave, and we're in minute wave 5 at the moment. So with that in mind, I am trying to just determine, is this actually going to be wave A of minute 5, and that we're still tracing out a B wave of minute wave 5. And that's why I was down at that 15-minute chart, and I'm going to show what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at the internals here, and it can be. I mean, I could say 1, 2, may not make a lot of sense to some people, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would then be labeled wave A, and this being A, B, and we're drifting lower in a C wave, which could technically still be 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we get a third, 4 and a 5, of 3, and then a 4 and a 5, and we end up down into here. The 50% to 62% retracement, and that would be for the B wave. And then we rally one additional time, and that again would still give us areas up into here. And again, let me go back out to that hourly so they're not all crunched together. And that's where we would still kind of look to go, and we cross and intersect. That trend line intersects right up at that 5174 to 5187 area. Now, I could, once I do get a B wave low, that was a good one, huh? A B wave low, then I will be looking to connect A to B to get C. And pretty much we're going to have the same deal. Wave C is equal to A. Wave C is 1.618 of A. Wave C is 2.618 of A. So we'll have all those calculations. And the only other alternate that I can throw up here is that if we kind of just come down, again, going back down to that 15-minute chart to show you, if for whatever the reason might be that it's 1, 2, and this all works out to be the 3, and this is still a 4, let's just take these out and let's put in fibs for a fourth wave and see what we get. So they were kind of all in the same area. Fourth wave would be 0.382. So there's still, we have a little bit of room. We got down to the close was right there, and it's going to be 50.7625. We have supported 5,065 into that area, possibility of 5,048, 5,050. And that would be, again, for a small fourth wave, which is actually more extended than the 2, more extended than everything else, because this shouldn't be 1, 2. So it really, right now, in my mind, is going to count out better as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave A, B, and we're falling down in a C for wave B. And one more time, I can actually just change these by going like this and activating it and bringing that down to there. And so you can see it changes it slightly, 5,060, 5,040. Even 618 could be a B wave, can be 618, 5,020. So we have 60, 40, 20 coming off to complete a B wave and then set us up. So either way, if this is only a elongated wave 4, then yeah, we should pick up and rally again. And in that case, we would be taking wave 1, which I really do not like it, because then the look and feel just do not fit, which is why I'm more apt to go with that this is wave A and this is going to be a B wave, and we'll still end up down in this zone down in here. And again, if I just open this up and let's take a look at it and bring it down and open it up so we can see. Get a lot of play 1 2 1 2. So this could be even 1 of C, 2 of C, and a 3 of C, a 4 of C, 5 of C. So there's a couple of ways we can look at it, even on that intra 15-minute chart. And it decided to sell more strongly pretty much after the bell. But coming into the bell, and then after the bell, they just moved it down another, I think, at least probably $5, $6, $7. And so we got that 58, 84, 60, 40. But those 2, 3, 6, not really looking for. We see it's been exceeded. So we have 50, 60, 40, 20. And then looking for a rally. Once that is complete, again, I will be taking a look at, we'll move it back out to the hourly, and we'll be taking a look at A to B to where C should come in. Again, right off the bat, the high end or the high probability zone remains right here, 5170 to 51, I'm going to call it 90. Now, the throwover, for sure, it can reach 5,200. And that's just our next level. So what we have here is primary B, C, intermediate wave C, minor wave 5, minute wave 5 overlaps and sits right along with minor wave 5. So that really does, right here, put a very clean group or cluster together for the S&P to finish in here. We do have additional, should it go full bore. And we have additional levels of 2.618 for minor wave 5, 1.618 for intermediate wave C, and it would have to go up to 3.618 if we went up that far for minute wave 5. I can throw it up there. Let me see what we got. Get out of the way. And so then you have that blow off cluster. And that is 5440 up to probably 5500, we'd have to say. And that's if they really wanted to get it all going. And one final high volume push. A lot of people would consider it to be a breakout, but in its current position, breaking above that trend line, it's just a push and a final gasp, would be my take. I really would not suspect that we would get really even kind of close. This continues to be pretty much, and it is, even if we're going to go a little bit further and we begin to move higher in here, we're still within this initial. And one last gasp could take us to 52. And then rejection, and then put a top in. Now, moving averages, everything still basically all in place. There's the 200 to 50. Start to round it off a little bit here. And so it's still nothing major to contend with. So I'm going to look for it to kind of come in, form in here into this zone, put in a B wave, and then rally up. Over in the NASDAQ, it actually was exactly the same kind of day. Not an impossible day as far as trading is concerned, particularly day trading. The NASDAQ makes it a little bit more clear, though, that it likely is also same kind of a deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave A. Yes, kind of, it was a new high, right, above that third wave, which was really right there. So not by a whole lot, but it was. So we could say wave A, and then we have an ABC for wave B. And what are we looking for? Well, it hasn't even reached the 382 level. So here in the NASDAQ, we can say, with a high level of probability or even conviction, because this would be a protracted, a much larger fourth wave than what we're considering wave two, which came on the NVIDIA's earnings, right? The up, the down, and then the massive rally. So once again, I'm more inclined to believe that it's done, that the A wave is done. And this is the A, this is a B, and we're coming down in a C wave. And there's much more to go on that downside, whereas it just began. We saw it kick in a little bit harder after the bell, or just before the bell, and then after the official close, the regular session, they continued to sell it. In fact, they took it down from 77 down to 45. So, slowly, just kind of push, 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 push. It ultimately does need to get below 17,919, which was the low from yesterday in the Globex, the start of the Globex session. And right now, our FIB support comes at 17,850, but we're looking for a B wave. So we have to consider they can go 50 to 62% or 66.618, excuse me. So we have 7,850, 760, and 670. I'm rounding them all up, but those are the exact levels right in there. Not looking for more because of the nature of the overall fifth wave. Remember, this is the fourth. The fifth should be a zigzag. Anything below, getting down closer to here, would make it a flat. And I'm not looking for that. So far, it does continue to hold itself up. There were issues in like Tesla, a lot of bid today, and basically closed just below 200. Now, it does have the potential we could get up to, like, I believe I saw 209, and then there was a little bit above that. But for whatever the reason might be, but I would suspect that Tesla will also get caught up in falling back. But it could not fall back as much, but it might contribute to some of the initial down into here. And then we get that secondary C wave of minute wave 5. So again, minute wave 4, A of minute wave 5, B of minute wave 5, C of minute wave 5. What's the potential here? Let me just bring this back in. And here we have, that's the first overlap, but then we're going up. So if we have to move this out, you're going to see we are actually continuing to head towards 18,700. But the longer it takes to here, the further up and exceeding 1.618 I would be looking for. Right now, we have 1.236 at 18,250. We have 1.618 for minor wave 5 at 18,376. We have minute wave 5, 1.618 at 18,527. Now, to start getting into the others, we are really above 19,000. So this is our first. This is wave C, by the way, way up there. Impossible? Not really, but I'd have to change my count a little bit here. And I'm not really seeing that necessity just yet. I even under an alternate, it would kind of still be a little bit difficult, but stranger things to work out to where could it get up into the 19,000 area? It could. I'm not going to say that it can't, but it would be a blow off. It would be just a blow off on pretty good volume. That's your typical blow off, by the way. And we're not really seeing this tremendous volume surges. So again, trying to put it all together, those are what you're going to look for that final push. Whatever happens, it's like everybody's piling to get that top tick. It would seem that way, let me say. Now, so again, we have it where we'll go over those again. We have primary wave B, 18,250 again, right? Get a B wave, we get a C wave going. We will then have additional calculations, by the way, because we'll have the A, the B, and we'll get the C. Right now, these have minute wave 5. Well, we'll be adding for additional, for wave C of minute wave 5. So once we get that low, and we'll connect one more level, and I'm pretty not 100% confident, but I'm fairly certain that we're all going to just crowd up this area right in here. But we'll begin to see stronger potential. So right now, as it stands, wave A, we get a B, and then we get a C. Without that final calculation, 18,250, 18,375 to 77, I'll call it, and then 18,520, 525 to 530. And we have this at above 18,600. So depending on how far over we go, will depend on how far it moves in that diagonal type of a shape. And again, it's an expanding. So I'm not looking for it to go all the way to the moon. Unless you're going to use the alternate account, which Sasha presented on Saturday, and that it's just a regular 5-wave structure, then you got that other stronger move potential. All right, so moving averages here are also doing okay. The 200 starts to edge back up. The 50 has yet to really even. It's going flat. It's just kind of lazy. These are lazy. Look, they're all grouped together. The 8, the 20, and the 50 all grouped together right there, just hanging and waiting for the next move. So tomorrow, let me just double check, see what we got. Tuesday, we have durable goods, S&P Case Schiller Home Price Index. Let me start over. Durable goods at 8:30 a.m. Case Schiller at 9 a.m. 10 a.m. Consumer confidence. And so nothing the earth-shattering. Durable goods may do a little bit. Consumer confidence may have a push-pull. Wednesday, we do have GDP. And that'd be the biggie for Wednesday. All right, that's where I am going to finish it. And our next update will be on Tuesday, February the 27th.